On this TrailRecon adventure, my son and I set out on a week-long trip where we'll be exploring some trails in Utah, Idaho, and Montana. We'll be in search of some remote scenic campsites, attempt to cook a little great food at camp, and we'll be heading to Wyoming to soak in some of the wildlife and geographical points of interest in Yellowstone National Park. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon, I'm Brad, and on this adventure, my son and I have set out for 7 days where we're here in Utah. We're going to go to Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming and explore some awesome trails and do some camping and just spend some quality time together. Now, my son, for the very first time, planned this entire adventure, and I got to tell you, this is a pretty good start. The scenery, the water. Devin, you picked a great spot. We are at Second Left Hand Canyon. This is a trail just about an hour outside of St. George, Utah. It's definitely a little windy up here, so camping might be interesting tonight. Now, we're gonna head up the trail, we're gonna go find a place to camp, and then we're gonna eat some good chow. This is gonna be an awesome week. The Second Left Hand Canyon Trail is a scenic 14.5-mile long trail that climbs to just over 10,000 feet in elevation and is rated as moderate and will take you just about 2 hours. The trail is located in the Dixie National Forest in northern Utah, just outside the small town of Parowan. There are several remote campsites in the area, and we noted many adjacent trails along the way that may be worth exploring in the future. I'll admit, I've never heard of this area, and I'm so glad my son chose this as our first destination to explore. All right, time to see what lay ahead, and keep an eye out for a campsite. The drive up this mountain is very scenic, but this time last year there was a forest fire that burned over 350 acres of the forest, and with that in combination of some devastation caused by bark beetles, there are many dead trees along the way. But thankfully, if you look close, there is plenty of new forest life already beginning to take shape. Well, what a beautiful trail. I mean, Devin, you did awesome, dude, picking this one. This is a very, very scenic trail. Now, we did not go all the way to the end, and we did notice that there was another turn that takes you down to a lake, and there were more trails and campsites down there. But as we kept getting higher and higher, the wind was getting crazy. I mean, what do you think, Devin? 30 miles an hour?
Yeah, it was tough.
It was pretty nasty. And so we're like, you know what? We're not camping at over 10,000 feet. So we've come back down for about 7,500 feet, but we found a really nice campsite right off the trail. Got some trees, and the stream is right there. This is perfect. What a way to start off the trip. All right, we're gonna get camp set up and then make some dinner. All right, camp is pretty much set up, and what an awesome spot. Now I'm gonna start dinner here, and I've got something I think it's really gonna be tasty tonight. We're gonna make some salmon sandwiches. So I'm gonna cook up some salmon using the garlic olive oil, just a little salt and pepper, just kind of sear those on either side. And then we've got some pre-made street corn, which we'll roast up. And super simple, this shouldn't take long, and it should be a pretty good dinner. I think Devin's gonna be a little impressed with what Dad's breaking out tonight. That is smelling good. Oh yeah. So I've always had a hard time, where do I want to put the paper towels? And so we're usually tucking them in somewhere, and you just can't leave them out. They'll blow away, get dirty or whatever. So I went to a kitchen store and found this perfect paper towel holder that just clamps right on the side of the fridge. And voila. Perfect. Simple solutions like that I love. How's it smell?
It smells okay.
Okay.
It smells amazing.
Come on.
It smells amazing. That was pretty good.
Did I just surprise you?
No, it was pretty good.
That was pretty good for being so simple, huh?
Yeah, okay. I get it.
Let me cook once in a while. Having a great meal at camp and enjoying it with my son after a long day on the road and exploring this amazing trail. What a great way to wrap up the day. Well, day one's in the books, dude. You did pretty dang on good. This turned out really good.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised with how nice this trail was.
At dinner, how was dinner? A scale 1 to 10, what do you got for me?
I'd say it's a good 8. Solid 8, which is pretty good for an off-road meal, I think.
Well, it's not bad, 8. I was shooting for a 5 or 6, so I'll take an 8. Nice. Well, look, I wanted to turn the camera on a minute for these guys to hear a little bit about what you went through, because you planned this whole trip. It's not easy. No. Definitely not your first time easy. And so can you just talk with them a little bit about some of the things that you went through as you're figuring out where we were going to go?
Yeah, so I was picking his brain through all of this, and he suggested trailsoffroad.com, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and pick one, keep it simple. But as I was looking in like Wyoming and Montana, where we'll be going, there wasn't many trails, so I had to switch over to Google and like Google potential trails there, and that was actually pretty useful. But planning the whole thing, it was kind of just what trails are easy enough since we're not rock crawling but have good scenery and will allow us to not drive more than 8 hours a day.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want to put in like, 12 to 16 hour days. We could have drove all the way to Idaho today, but no thank you. Yeah, so what was the hardest part about doing it?
The hardest part was probably the beginning, just trying to figure out like where to go, because you're aiming for Wyoming and Montana, but you have to figure out stops along the way and still make them interesting.
Right. Well, this stop along the way turned out pretty good, dude. You didn't do too bad.
Yeah, not horrible.
Not horrible. I have no idea. I shouldn't say I have no idea. I looked where we're going on the map, but I didn't like look into the trails and the campsites. So if they're all like this, dude, this is going to be a huge win. So
let's hope so.
Right on. Okay, guys. Well, we're going to hang around camp and just chat for the night, and then we'll see you guys in the morning over some coffee. Well, good morning, everyone. It's a little brisky this morning, a lot windy.
A lot windier.
How'd you sleep?
Slept pretty good.
Yeah.
Aside from the wind, yeah.
Yeah, I slept pretty good, but about 1:30 last night, the wind just started howling. We're in a great little spot here, but the wind over the top and all around us it's pretty legit this morning. So we are going to finish our coffee and we're gonna go ahead and roll out of here because it's definitely a little chilly. Now, where are we going today?
We're going to a place called Cave Falls Trail up in Idaho. So, excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited too because I've never camped or wheeled in Idaho, so this should be a lot of fun. But a little more coffee and then we're out of here.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
We departed camp a little before 8 in the morning and began making our way north towards Idaho. Idaho is a beautiful state, and while we'll only be spending one night here, it's definitely a place I look forward to coming back again and again because I know there are some great places and some great trails to explore here. Our drive was just over 550 miles and would take us just under 8 hours, and as we started to get closer, we could see the Grand Teton Mountains off in the distance. All right, we made it to Idaho. We drove about 500 miles, just under 8 hours, and we are here, and we're getting ready to run the Cave Falls Trail. Now, this is an easy trail, but the reward at the end is supposed to be really nice. Devin was showing me some pictures, so I'm super excited to see this. And we'll be scouting some campsites along the way, but I'll tell you, it's super windy out here right now, and it is chilly. It's definitely gonna be a little bit different weather tonight, so we'll be bundling up. But right now, gonna go check out the falls. The Cave Falls Trail in Idaho is just outside a small town of Ashton and is a very easy 14-mile out and back trail that will take you about 2 hours one way. The drive follows a stream most of the way, and this time of year, the wildflowers were in full bloom along the meadows. A beautiful, easy, scenic, off-the-beaten-path trail that had a couple campsites along the way that we were scouting. Eventually, we reached the last stretch of trail and crossed over into Wyoming and Yellowstone National Park, where we began following alongside the roaring Fall River. Come on. All right, Devin, you did it again, man. I mean, I think you topped the scenery from yesterday. Now, easy trail to get out here, nothing crazy. That last little part was paved, but we didn't know we were going to be going into Yellowstone, but that is pretty spectacular. This is awesome, and I think we found a good campsite for the night, so it should be good. But we're going to go hike up here, kind of take a look at this, and then we'll head down to camp. Well, we boogied back down here to camp, and what an awesome spot. This is the spot we were kind of hoping for. It's a nice wide open area. There's beautiful wildflowers everywhere. We got aspen trees, we got pine trees, and we got some good shelter from the wind because the wind is howling. I mean, you can see the trees back there just blowing. Right here, we've got some good blockage from the wind, so I think we're gonna be okay. Now, the temperature's dropping. Devin's already thrown on his long johns. I'm gonna hop in the tent and throw mine on here in a second, and then we're gonna start dinner. But before I do that, there's 3 questions that I was getting as I was posting some pictures on Instagram on the way here about the Power Wagon that I want to address. One is, which one do I like more, the Power Wagon or the Wrangler diesel? And the truth is, it's hard to pick. For this type of trip where we're doing long distances and easy to moderate trails, you just cannot beat the comfort of the Power Wagon. Now, the trip that we did recently to Arizona when we were getting on the rocks and we were covering a lot of ground on the trail, the Wrangler was way better suited. Now, do I like one more than the other? I don't know. I probably lean towards the Wrangler, but man, I love the Power Wagon. The other question is, why do I have a camper shell in the back when I have a trailer? Well, the truth is, I use the truck as truck stuff, and so I'm throwing stuff in the back all the time, and I do take it out on the trails from time to time, and I don't want that stuff getting completely dirty, but more importantly, it's a security feature. I don't want people with sticky fingers reaching in there and taking my stuff. So I like the security of the camper shell. And the last question I kept getting asked was, what is the next mod on the Power Wagon? And I'll just give you a little sneak peek. We're gonna be adding a new suspension on there here pretty soon. So that's pretty cool. All right, it's getting chilly. I'm gonna go get some long johns on, and then Devin, you ready for some dinner?
I'm hungry.
We're gonna eat. All right, so for dinner tonight, we're gonna have some ribeyes, some grass-fed ribeyes, but we're trying something a little different. This is a coffee, of course, and garlic rub. I've never tried this before, but we're gonna give this a shot and we'll see how it tastes. The good thing is we have some backup sausages if this doesn't go out well. So we're gonna try that. I think it's gonna be really good. And then we have some chimichurri rice, which is already prepackaged, so all we do have to do is heat that up. And that's gonna be dinner tonight, and I think this is gonna be pretty tasty. Oh, Devin, that smells good, right?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Okay, we need to answer a question that I got asked a lot the last time that I fried up some steaks at camp. People are asking, why am I frying and not grilling them? Because there's a grill on the front of the trailer, and the reason is because a fried steak tastes better. If you have ever gone to a high-end steak restaurant, they fry them, they do not grill them. It just sears in those juices, you get a nice crust on the steak. I like my steaks fried. I love to grill a ton of stuff, but when it comes to steak, this is the way to do it. All right, you get first bite, and I want honest opinion about how the coffee and garlic rub is. If you don't love it, it's okay.
I honestly don't really notice the coffee that much.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, how is it?
It's good. I taste like the paprika and a little bit of the barbecue. It's just good. It tastes like a good
It's good steak.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, Devin said he couldn't taste any coffee. We'll see. I get a little bit of the coffee, but I think that's pretty good. That's a good rub. A lot of spices and seasons in there. I like that, dude. All right, put that camera down, man. Let's eat.
All right.
Another tasty dinner in the books, and honestly, none of these have been difficult to cook, and I'm a little impressed that my son is enjoying it as much as he is. Cleanup didn't take long, but the forest scenery all around us really just was so therapeutic. You just had to soak it all in. It was a great day spending time with my son, making these new memories together. Well, I know I'm gonna cherish this forever. had a nice relaxing morning, no rush this morning, and Devin and I were talking over a coffee this morning that this is actually a really cool spot to maybe base camp. If we were gonna stay here longer, to drop the trailer just to kind of hold this spot, because there are some pretty cool other spots to explore and hike, and so I think I could spend 2 or 3 nights here. I think Devin's in agreement, but our schedule is keeping us going. So we've already packed up camp, we're well caffeinated, and this morning we're heading up to Montana, which is only a few hours drive, and then Devin's got a couple trails in mind for us and a camp spot that he's hoping we get. It's Friday night, so fingers crossed. So we've officially wheeled and camped in Idaho. Beautiful, beautiful state. Definitely need to come back here, but got the patch. The drive through Idaho was beautiful. What a gorgeous state. And now we just entered into Montana. There's Snow Peak Mountains, we got forest, and we are heading up that trail right there. But this is gonna be, man, I gotta tell you, Devin, this is beautiful. So let's air down and let's hit the trail. Today, we are exploring a portion of the Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest here in Montana, and there is a very large network of forest trails out here and some private ranch roads that you can access as long as you are only passing through. There are miles and miles of trails out here, and while my son had a specific destination in mind tonight for camp, we both agreed we could have spent a couple days out here just in this area, making a left turn, making a right turn, just to see where those trails go. There are a few streams, some lakes, and plenty of hiking trails that we'll be adding to our future trip list. A list that seems to be getting longer and longer as this adventure continues. These backcountry roads offered up a variety of terrain, and it was nice to finally be on something more than just an easy dirt road this trip. But honestly, the scenery takes the cake here. It's tough because the places we had just visited over the last 2 days were breathtaking. But this part of Montana, come on. This is a whole new level of amazing scenery. We made sure to slow down and take it all in. Plus, we had made some pretty good time today, so we were in no rush to find a campsite just yet. Our drive up a mountain, Devin spotted these very large cranes out the corner of his eye hiding in the woods. And I'm not sure if you can tell, but these things are at least 4 feet tall. I tried not to get too close, but they started squawking at me to let me know to keep my distance. Okay, we were just chasing those birds. No idea what they were, but they sound like geese. And I was up here and I was like, oh my gosh, Devin, you gotta see this. You haven't seen this yet. Peek through those trees, dude. It's gonna blow your mind.
Come on.
Seriously, is this not unbelievably beautiful, guys? Oh my gosh, look at that. And I think our campsite is somewhere right over there, so hopefully we get there soon. Our campsite should be this way somewhere. But if this is our view today, oh man, I don't know if I ever want to go back to San Diego. So I guess we didn't realize just how close we were to our campsite. Devin is pulling up right now, and we've got this beautiful spot. And then if you just peek over here, this is the lake we were just looking at. Look at that down there. Oh my gosh. It's a little windy up here, but I think we can tolerate it. What a view. What a view. Snowy mountains over there. Amazing. I've been very fortunate over the years to camp at some epic places, but this one here, overlooking this lake with the amazing colors everywhere you look, whether it was on the rocks or the trees or the wildflowers, and being here with my son, this might be my new favorite camp spot. Unbelievable. Well, we've been relaxing for a while. It's been good.
It's been nice after all the driving the last couple of days.
Yeah, so we've been talking kind of about the speed of a trip. And I think it's important to have a day just like this one when you're on a week-long trip. Because we went hard the first day, a lot of miles, got to camp, ate. We did relax a little bit, but then it was up in the morning again. And tomorrow morning we're up early tomorrow. So it's been nice. We drove, about an hour and a half on the road, and then about 3 hours on the trail. Got here right around lunch, and come on, wow.
Just unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's beautiful. There's been eagles flying all over the place. You saw a bald eagle. You were like a little kid freaking out. 2 bald eagles. Yeah. We have been using the binoculars trying to find some wildlife. We haven't seen anything, but we did have some hunters drive by, and they said they were looking for bear and elk. So we have the bear spray ready to go. That's ready to go. But it's just been nice to just slow down for a minute and relax. It's been kind of therapeutic, I think. But tomorrow's going to be pretty exciting. Where are we going tomorrow?
We're going to Yellowstone tomorrow.
We're going to Yellowstone tomorrow. Now, we're only driving through, which is not going to be enough time, but it'll be the first time you get to see it, so we'll get to see some cool stuff. So I think it's only like 6 o'clock.
Not even, yeah.
And the sun here in Montana does not go down until, it go to like 9:30, 9:45 before it got dark?
Pretty late.
Pretty late. So we'll be up for a little while, but we're going to start dinner here soon. But guys, Montana's awesome. Okay, so dinner tonight is a little simpler than the previous nights, but instead of just some plain boring hot dogs, we've got some spicy Italian chicken sausage that we're gonna wrap in some garlic Indian flatbread. We're gonna call it a hot dog with a little bit of class in it. This was really tasty. It was actually a little bit better than we thought it was gonna be.
Thank you.
I don't know. We'll see.
That looks awesome.
I don't know. It's an experiment. It's chicken.
Oh, works.
It works?
Oh, a mosquito just flew into my mustard. That's nice.
Yeah, well. I don't know. Just thought it was something interesting to do with the bread. And it's not bad. Better than a regular hot dog.
It definitely is.
Spicy.
A lot of flavor. It's really good.
Yeah, it really is. So the sun is taking its time to set, but as it is, the mosquitoes are starting to come out, which is interesting because it's pretty chilly. I didn't expect as many mosquitoes as there are, and I think we pretty much drank about half the bottle of this, but it is working. They're leaving us alone, but there are plenty of mosquitoes out here. But it is supposed to get down to the mid-30s tonight. It's already a little chilly, so we're going to go ahead and light the fire, and then I think we're probably going to turn in here pretty quick. Well, good morning. It is just before 6, and Devin and I decided to get up early so we could get an early start and try to beat the crowds out at Yellowstone. So we've packed up camp, and we're going to hit the rest of this trail and hit the road and get there as soon as we can. But I didn't even make coffee yet this morning, so hopefully along the way we can find some coffee because I need a little caffeine. But did you guys see that sky this morning? Oh, that's probably the reddest sky I've ever seen in my life. All right, let's get out of here. Our drive to get off the trail this morning was just over an hour, and then we had about an hour drive on the pavement until we reached the small town of West Yellowstone. And then we made our way to the Yellowstone National Park entrance. And even this early, there were folks lined up waiting to enter the park. If you've never been to Yellowstone, let me encourage you to add it to your bucket list. I really thought for years that it's just another forest with some wildlife. How special can it be? Well, I was so wrong. This is my second time visiting the park, and it still just amazed me at how special this place is. We saw our first herd of buffalo just as they were waking up, and a bit further down the road, we saw even more. What do you think of Yellowstone so far?
This is unbelievable. I'm just blown away right now.
And what about right behind you? What's going on?
So many bison. I've never even seen one bison
Holy
before.
cow, it's so many. Baby one out there. All right, so we had a full day to take in as much of Yellowstone as possible. But look, if you're going to visit here, don't do what we did. Give yourself 2 to 3 days minimum so you can see so much of this great place. We knew we would only be able to take in a few of the sites here, but I think we did pretty good for only having a full day. Now, we didn't go visit Old Faithful. I had seen it before, and unless you like watching water shoot up out of the ground with 300 of those folks around, don't add it to the top of your list. There is a lot more cooler stuff to see here. Well, Yellowstone is amazing, and if you have never been here before, it needs to be on your bucket list. Devin, agree?
Oh yeah.
I didn't oversell it.
No.
No.
Couldn't have.
Good enough. And absolutely my favorite spot is right here, is Artisan Paint Pot. There is so much to see here. The bubbling mud, all the little streams. It's beautiful. I love this place. Now, one thing I didn't tell you at the beginning of the video is this is Devin and I's kind of last adventure for a while, because he's getting ready to head off and do his master's degree. And so that's why I allowed him to kind of put this trip together. And Devin, you did an awesome job, buddy.
Thanks.
We have had such a great time. Now, we have a couple more stops along the way home, but we've decided, you know what? That's going to be for us. So we're going to say goodbye for now, guys. I hope you have enjoyed hanging out with us on this adventure. It's been so much fun. Thanks for watching.